Hi, everybody. Well, it sure is hot out, and I'm here at Avo Bay Club, and I'm going to be recording our first week's lesson so that I feel like if you come to my house and we're outside, it's just going to be too hot and too distracting. So let's kind of go over some stuff. Again, I appreciate your patience. I am a little bit new to this uh, Zoom video hosting. I've done a bunch of Zoom videos, but I have not been in charge of them. I hope this isn't backwards for you, because it looks backwards to me. Just to kind of go over some things that we went over before about getting distracted and everything in the heat is that concentration is super important with Pilates because you have to try to locate muscles that are pretty deep. We're trying to control muscles all the way through the exercise. Our muscles are interdependent on each other. I'm actually reading this backwards. We're going to be developing some unique kind of endurance, muscle memory, endurance, strength endurance, and some stamina as well. Breathing is going to be of the utmost importance. We're going to go over that one more time and probably 100 times. Everything we do has a purpose. We're not just kind of willy-nillying it. And that, I'm trying to read this, we're going to be making progress as long as we concentrate on each little thing properly, and then we will attain fluidity in our movements and be ready to move on to the next level of difficulty in whatever you're doing, whether it's mat, which is what we're going to be doing first, and then when you get through mat or get into mat, you don't have to wait until you're finished with mat because you're never finished. I'm certainly not finished. But you might want to go on to other apparatus like the reformer or the chair and join a studio, or I may have a home business, so that might be something you want to do. That's still kind of up in the air, but there's no finish line. Okay, you just keep learning and learning and learning. It's like dance in a way. You just keep trying to get better at things, master things that you're not so good at, maybe isolate certain things that need work. Okay, so enough of that. And remember, I am a teacher by trade, so of course I'm going to have my little handouts. But I do want to go over Mr. Spine, okay, because this is probably the most important thing in Pilates, that we're working from our midline. Way to pubic bone. I'm going to be saying pubic a lot. But our midline all the way radiating out, okay? All right, so starting with our cervical spine, which we refer to as our neck, okay? We have our thoracic region, which is the largest grouping of vertebra. Okay, I think there's 12, but I can't read it, but I think from memory. That's our slumping area right there. Also, our neck takes a beating, looking at computers and looking down onto our phones and driving. Our lumbar spine down here, it aches a lot, mainly because up here is not strong enough to hold us up, and in the front as well. And then we have down here, we have our sacrum and our coccyx down here, and this is an area that is not bendable in that it is fused together, okay? We still can manipulate it to a degree. However, each individual vertebra is not separate from the others like the other ones are. So if you think of your spine as like an old-fashioned slinky toy, the spine is meant to rotate both directions to a degree. It bends forward or flexes. It bends back or extends, okay? It also can pull apart vertically to a degree. And of course, we know in our society and the way we live, because we sit so much, we also compress our vertebra together instead of helping it elongate. And that's what was happening to me. And that's why I love how Pilates makes me feel. Okay, so we're going to be starting not with mat level 1, but pre Pilates, okay? Because you pretty much have to. Okay, so we're going to go over our breathing. Okay, I'm going to be getting up and down a lot. So our breathing, we're going to be inhaling through our nose or mouth, but they say nose, okay? But when we exhale, we want to dip down all the way down to our pubic bone and feel everything engage. Okay, so I'm going to have you do that sitting up first. So we're going to inhale, filling up our rib cage, and then we're going to exhale and lean back a little bit and feel everything tighten up. Okay, one more time. Inhale into the upper back and exhale and tighten up. Last time. Inhale and exhale. Okay, good. Now, another thing I want to talk about is we're going to be talking about those of you who have had babies, or even if you haven't, we can engage our pelvic floor muscles by using the Kegel method. Okay, if you pretend that you have to go pee, but you can't for some reason, you're not near a bathroom or whatever, you squeeze it down there in order to hold it in. Okay, those are really important muscles in Pilates. And your homework, we do have homework. Your homework is to Kegel every single second of the day that you remember to do it. While you're driving, while you're walking, while you're making dinner. If you're awake, you're trying to Kegel, okay? Because if you're doing that, then you're also engaging your spina erecti up here, which are holding your back up and down, okay? You're also finding those really, really deep pelvic floor muscles that are super hard for most people to find. So if you can do that, you're on the road to success already. Okay, we're going to lay down and we're going to be taking 8 inhales and 8 exhales, breathing in through our nose or mouth, into our back, filling up our ribs, and then engaging our lower pelvic floor abdominals on the exhale. Okay, so exhale on the work. So if it's hard, you're exhaling. Okay, all right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to inhale 1, exhale, tighten it up. Inhale, let it go. Exhale, tighten it up. Think of it as a zip line. Zip it up. Inhale. Hands on your ribs, feel them expand, and exhale. Zip it up. Inhale. Exhale. Let's just make this the last one. Inhale. And exhale. Hold it. Hold that Kegel. I want you to pulse that Kegel for 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hold it and relax. Okay, good. Now, we are going to lay down again, and we're going to take that breath a little bit farther, and we're going to feel the breath fill in not just the front of our body, but also the back, upper back. Okay, upper back is another important area in Pilates because it provides a lot of stability for moves and for other reasons. Okay, so we're going to lay down again. We're going to inhale. When you inhale, I want you to press your palms down into the floor so you feel your armpits and your upper back muscles engage. Inhale, push down. Inhale. And exhale. Keep pushing. Zip it up. Inhale. Keep pushing. And exhale. Now you're going to relax on the inhale. Inhale, everything relaxes. And exhale. Push down with your palms. Last one. Inhale, relax. And exhale. Pushing down with those palms. Hold that Kegel. Hold that zip line all the way up the front of your body. Hold it and relax. Okay, good. Now, the deal with Pilates is that when you're doing an exercise and you're on the working section of the exercise, you want to be pushing your air out because that gives you strength and stability. Okay? And you don't want to have a big full lungs because they kind of get in your way. Okay? So you want to flood your system with oxygen because that's what your muscles work off of is oxygen. And exhale it, not all at once, kind of like you're blowing through a straw. Okay? All right. So now we're going to work on our shoulders and scapula or our shoulder blades. Okay, so in the back, I'll turn around. We have, hi there, we have our shoulder blades. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Our shoulder blades are here and here. So think about putting them in your back pocket. Raise them up, lower them down. Raise them up, lower them down. Raise them up, lower them down. Last time, raise it up and lower it down. Okay, good. So we're going to do some supine shoulder drops. We're going to lay down and reach our arms up to the sky. Okay. We're going to inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to, sorry, there's flies. We're going to extend our hands up into the sky, but we're not going to use our shoulder joints to do it. We're not going to load up our shoulder joints. We're going to use our shoulder blades back there in our upper back. Okay. So relax, inhale, and exhale up to the sky. When you inhale, you're going to press your shoulder blades into the ground. Exhale. Sorry, inhale. Inhale. Exhale, up. And back into, press them into the ground. Press, press, press. Inhale. Exhale, reach it to the sky. Last. Inhale and press your shoulder blades into the ground. Sorry, this is an exhale. I don't know, I'm confusing myself. And we're back down. All right, good. So what I want you to do is just feel your upper back, because what we do is we overload our shoulders in everything we do, everything. And we're not going to do that in Pilates. Okay? All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our palms next to our thighs. We're going to pretend that we have two tennis balls under our arms, and we're going to squeeze the tennis balls. Squeeze, squeeze them, squeeze those tennis balls, squeeze those tennis balls. Okay, good. You should feel all these muscles under here working. Okay, that is all part of your powerhouse or your core, as I talked about yesterday. Not yesterday, last time. Okay, so we're going to inhale. On the exhale, we're going to press. Inhale, relax. And exhale, press. Inhale to prepare. And exhale, press. If you're doing it right, you should be getting a little bit annoyed with these because they're tiring and they kind of hurt. Last one. Inhale, relax. Exhale, and press into your thighs and hips. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Good. You now put your hands flat on the ground, palms down. We're going to do the same thing. Inhale to prepare and exhale. Push those palms down. When you push your palms down, you're going to feel your pelvic floor engage all the way down to your pubic bone, and hold that. Ready? Relax and inhale. And exhale. Down with those palms. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale last time. Hold that Kegel and relax. Okay, good. I hope that you're starting to feel that when you exhale and you engage your powerhouse, especially down by your pubic region, you feel a little bit more stable. Okay, so you're going to feel that, I hope, on the next exercise. These are called leg drops. Okay, they look easy. If you do them wrong, they are easy. If you do them correctly and you use the breathing and you're engaged, you really want them to stop after a while. Okay, so let's do those leg drops. We're going to go right, left, and all that jazz. And when we, that's what we're doing. Okay, so we're going to be laying down. We're going to have our palms pressed in to the ground. Okay. All right. So I want you to practice putting your legs up to 90 degrees like this. You don't have to have your head up, but you will later. Okay. Palms are down for stability. Your upper back is engaged. Okay, let it go just to see how flimsy it is. Okay, push back down your palms. Okay, good. This is called tabletop. You're going to drop one leg, touch your toe, and up, left leg. Down and up. Now stop and make sure that your pubic region is engaged. You're zipped all the way up. And we're going to inhale to prepare. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Just keep going up and down. Slow and even. Slow and even. And back up to tabletop. Hold it. Hold it. Good. Stay zipped up. Stay zipped up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Don't lose the zip. 3, 2, 1, and down. Okay. Those are called leg drops. They are a lead-in to many Pilates exercises. But we don't want to use our hip flexors, which is what we use when we lift our leg up to run. Okay? We're trying to use our core to lift our legs. Okay? So we're trying to break all these old habits of loading up our shoulders too much, loading up our hip flexors too much, and all of that. Okay, let's talk about our spine down here. Okay? We know that if we press down with our palms, we can help stabilize it here. Down here, okay, we're going to work on what is the proper alignment for Pilates. There's 2 schools of thought, okay? There is neutral spine, which is probably what you're in right now, where if you put your hand underneath, you might be able to fit 1 or 2 fingers under there. There's like a little mouse house, as we call it in Pilates. Okay, and that's what you want to try to maintain no matter what you're doing. So if you exhale and zip up, you should be able to lift your leg in a leg drop without moving the mouse house. Try it. Try it. Do it one more time. Okay. Now let the zip go and see how unstable your lower back becomes. Okay, let it go. Now try to lift your leg up. Okay, it's wimbly wambly, right? It's like, whoa, wants to go this way. So you have to zip it up. It's going to take a little bit for you to really kind of second nature learn to engage your lower powerhouse and your upper powerhouse to where it becomes second nature. Okay. All right. So we're going to keep our mouse house where it's supposed to stay. Right. We're going to do some more leg drops. Okay. We're going to inhale to prepare. Inhale. And exhale, up and down, and up and down, up and down. Inhale, exhale. You might be on a different breathing pattern than me. It doesn't matter. Okay, let's go. Alternate, alternate, alternate. Now you better be zipped up for this, because if you're not, you're going to be loading your lower back. Press down with your palms. Down for stability. Press. Stay zipped. Stay zipped. Stay zipped. Stay zipped. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back up to tabletop. Hold it for 8. Press those palms down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Okay, good. Now, I feel that. So that's what we want to make sure, that you are feeling that. You might have trouble accessing all of these tiny little areas that I'm mentioning, and that is completely normal. Okay, we have people that go, I can't find my pelvic floor, and I'm like, well, try to hold your pee in and do it a lot. And not hold your pee in, but try to pretend. Use those muscles. Squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Okay, we also squeeze our buttons a lot in Pilates when we're doing things. Okay? Using our large gluteal maximus, medius, and minimus muscles back there. They're big and they need to be used. Okay, so we're going to do some pelvic tilts now, where we're going to take our pubic bone and we're going to rotate it up towards the sky and then back to neutral with the mouse house. Up to the sky and back to mouse house. Up to the sky and back to mouse house. Let's go 6 and 5. If you want to sit up, you can. 4. I want you to do it really, really tight. 3. And 2. Squeeze your butt. And 1, and you're going to hold it. Hold it up to the sky, up to the sky. Now squeeze your buns. Keep them squeezed. Keep them squeezed. Keep them squeezed. Your whole lower area should be engaged down in here. If you're up in this position, that's engaged as well. And relax. Whew. Okay, good. So we're moving through just the basics of Pilates, so that when you start doing the actual moves, you've got this base of knowing what's supposed to be engaged, or at least academically knowing, and being able to utilize those things so that you can do whatever new thing comes your way. You don't have to be completely out of it. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is really going to test your stability, okay? Because we're going to move some long levers of our body, meaning our legs and our arms, mainly our legs. We're going to do hip rolls, and the biggest extremity that we have is our legs. The farther we move it away from our midline, the more our core has to be engaged, okay? Otherwise, you're going to wind up pulling something, okay? And we don't want to use the wrong muscles. So we're going to lay down here. We're going to put our hands out to a T, okay? We're going to, both feet are together. We're going to roll our hips in different directions, right and left, okay? So let's go back down to here. We want to make sure that we are engaged before we start. So, hands are out to a T. We're going to inhale to prepare. When we exhale, we're going to put our legs up into tabletop. Inhale to prepare. Exhale up into tabletop. Hold it there. Good. We're going to straighten our legs. Inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to come around. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Stop and hold your legs up. Now, when your legs get farther away from you over in here, that's when you're exhaling, because that's the hardest part of the hip roll. Okay? Don't let your hips flop from side to side. You're trying to hold all of that steady on the ground, using your palms to hold you down. Now we're going to go to the left. We're going to go inhale and exhale. And and one more after this, and okay, good. I like to point my toes a lot in Pilates. It looks prettier. You do whatever you want. There's no law. Okay. Most of Joseph Pilates customers at the beginning were dancers, and so that's the classic way of doing it. But of course, you can do it any way that you want. Okay, so that's the story on hip rolls, but you can see the farther out you move those big extremities with all that weight, you better have a stable core, because they're going to get away from you, okay? All right. Good. The next thing that we're going to do is going to be something that's prone or laying on your stomach, okay? And all of these things lead into complicated exercises. That's why it's called pre-Pilates. So in this particular one, we're going to be doing arm and leg lifts, very, very teensy-weensy ones, on our stomach. But you don't just lay on your stomach. When you're laying on your stomach, you're pushing your pubic bone down into the floor for stability, okay? Your mouse house now becomes your stomach. For a lot of us, we got a little extra girth right here. So our, our flub might touch the ground, but if it wasn't there, you would hope that it would almost be concave, like a college girl or something. Okay, that's not going to happen, but you never know. It might happen someday. Okay, so we're going to lay prone. First, we're going to do the arms because they're easier. We don't want to hurt our lower back, so we're going to make sure that our head and our cervical spine is lined up with the rest of our spine, so we don't want to be like this. We don't want to be like this. All right, make sure I'm in the picture here. All right, good. So first, we're going to put our forehead over the mat, but not on the mat. Okay, so line up nice and straight with your hands over your head like this. And I'll tell you, my buns are completely squeezed already. My pubic bone is pushing down into the floor. That activates everything. And we're going to lift right arm, left arm, right arm, left arm for 8. And it seems easy, but it's one of those things you just have to trust me when I say it gets a lot harder. Okay, here we go. Out here, we're going to go right, left, right, left, right. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Now we're going to do legs only. Okay, this is a little harder. Relax your buns. So we're relaxing everything. Okay, good. I like to sit up like this with my fingers almost like I'm climbing a rock wall, and I like to pull back with my fingers. Engage my pubic bone down, squeeze my buns. I'm going to go right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg. Very, very small, 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 small. And you don't want to feel this in your lower back at all. Okay. All right. And then the goal is to do them at the same time. Okay. So it's opposite arm, opposite leg. Called swimming in Pilates, but it gets a lot bigger than this, but this is the Pre Pilates version. And it looks like this. You can join in when you're ready. Make sure your pubic bone is down. Squeeze those buns really, really hard. And rest. Okay, good. And we're gonna give it a cat and cow situation, which you've probably done in yoga. But this time, I want you to do it super deliberately. Okay, make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders. And you're going to think about the spine that I showed you, the drawing. Down here, you know they're fused. But in that lumbar, I want you to curl that lumbar under and then go to thoracic. Okay, and then all the way down to cervical in a big letter C. And relax down into your cow. Do it the other way. Okay, so when you're up into your cat, you're in a giant letter C, called the C curve in Pilates. It's very important. Start with your sacrum and tuck it under. Bad doggy. Okay, here we go. Lumbar. Think of each vertebra lifting on its own. And last is your last cervical spine. Push and hold. Breathe. Let's uncurl it the other way, starting with cervical, neck. Ooh. The new take on the cat and cow, okay? One vertebra at a time, theoretically. Practically, it's hard to do. But if you just want to pretend you're doing it, because then you'll do it way better than if you don't pretend. And last time on cat-cow, okay, starting with the sacrum that's fused. Tuck it under like a bad doggy. Oh no, bad doggy. Okay, here we go. And lumbar. Those lumbars way down there and go into thoracic. One at a time. One at a time. Push it up to the sky. And you're in your C curve. Scared kitty. Reach out through the top of your head. And reverse. Whew. Reversing it takes a lot of concentration. I kind of blew that one myself. Okay, so let's just sit. Whew. Let's talk about that C curve. Okay, this is not part of my plan, but what I want you to do is sit with your legs a little bit apart, nothing major. And notice, just sit completely relaxed, like I want you to slump on purpose, okay? We're slumping. I can slump at the best. My shoulders are down. Now I want you to sit up so that it's a little graphic, but this is what Pilates uses to explain it. If you had a pine cone, okay, underneath your region down there, in between where you go potty and other, and you didn't want that pine cone to go where it shouldn't go, okay, you would have to stay real straight above it and keep everything really tight so it wouldn't go in, okay? Kind of a weird graphic, but you know what? It totally works. So sit up off your pine cone, right? We're gonna put our hands here. And I'm doing this towards you, but if I was to the side, you'd see me making a letter C. So maybe I'll do it the other way as well. But we're going to reach out, but we're going to take the top of our head and reach up first with the top of our head, our very last cervical spine. We're going to have that go over first, like we're tilting over a beach ball. Stay up on over your pine cone and back up, starting to pull with your lower pubic region and then stack it back up. Now, this exercise literally should take your breath away because it's really hard to do correctly, okay? You're trying to go up and over the beach ball, starting with your head, which unless you're really flexible is hard to do, okay? And then when you are down, you want to pull yourself back and stack back up, starting with your muscles down here instead of just going, you know, that's the easy way to do it. Okay, we're going to go up and over, starting with our head. Sit up straight off your pine cone, up and over the beach ball, up and over. Good. And start with your lower pubic region. Tighten it up, pull yourself back up, and stack up the vertebra. Whew. Now that, I'm telling you, it's full body if you're doing it right. So let me go sideways. I hope I'm doing it. I look like a C because that's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so we're here. I'm starting with the top of my head. Top of my head's going first, I hope. Okay, so you're making a C, capital C. That's what we are striving to do in Pilates. That shape is very important. Okay, a lengthened spine is a very important shape in Pilates. And a C curve is another very important shape. And there are others, but those are the main ones, okay? All right, so good job on that stuff. Trying to think if there was anything else that I wanted to do with you guys. Let me check my notes. Okay, let's do roll downs. I don't know what minute we're on. I should probably check. Gotta use my glasses here. You know what? I don't even know. So bad. Sorry. I don't know how many minutes this has been. But it kind of feels like 40 to 45 to me. I'm not really sure. But this is a very important one. Okay. This one is going to prepare you to start doing roll ups, but these are called roll downs because they're easier to start with. I like to start with I think it's going to be a reality check. It always is for me. I couldn't do a roll up properly. It took me about 2 years. I still struggle with it. Okay, so we're sitting up like this. We're on our pine cone, which is harder to find when your knees are bent. You have to sort of get on that pine cone. Hands are out. You're going to sink into a C curve like you've been socked in the stomach and you want to, oh no, don't hit me. Okay, now sit back up. Okay, good. You're going to get like a punch in the tummy, and you're going to go back until you don't want to go anymore. And you start shaking. And then you're going to engage, stay engaged, and bring yourself back up. Squeeze your butt. It's the rear end again. It's important. And back up onto your pine cone. Inhale to prepare. And punch in the gut. Back, 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 until it becomes too much. And you start shaking, you hold it, and lift yourself back up onto your pine cone. Okay, good. And we're going to do one more. We're going to inhale to prepare and get all that air out of the way. Punch in the gut. And you go all the way down. This is what it looks like when you can. and you do a roll up, which you will get to. I'll show you what it looks like. Up onto the pine cone and C curve. So that's what roll downs are getting you to be able to do. Now my daughter, who's 20, can bust out a roll up without even like knowing what it is. It's pretty annoying. But you know what? I bet she's doing it wrong. I bet she's muscling it from somewhere else. Most people, it takes a very long time. Okay, so I hope that you can do this one more time before I see you next week. And I hope that next week isn't 300 degrees, because if it is, we're going to have to do a video again, because it's just miserable, you know, to try to do this stuff and concentrate and be thinking, I'm so hot, please make it end, you know. So great job, and I hope that this was good for you. It's a good way of showing you that Pilates does not move quickly unless you're an advanced practitioner. Because the base, think of it as ballet, the base has to be built over a couple of years. Okay, and I'm still building my base, and I'm on my 3rd year. So that's what I like about it, though, because I don't want it to stop. I want it to keep learning stuff. And just the fact that I can sit up straight for me is like, woo, you know, I don't have to, it's not tiring for me to sit up straight anymore. Hey, what a deal. But you know what? That's practical. That's what we're kind of looking for. Okay. So practice sitting up straight while you're driving. Start with the Kegel, and then think about your spine while you're driving, while you're making dinner. I don't mean I want you to tuck your rear end, but I want you to Kegel. Okay. Anytime you can think about it, that is your homework. And so I will like you to do this one more time this week. Give yourself a couple of days in between. And I will touch base before next week. Okay. All right. Great job, guys. Extreme close up. Woo! It's Coach K, extreme close up. There's the arrow. Okay. Bye bye.